Uh,
All right, there we go, everybody.
all
Sorry
right.
about that. You know,
Well, we
me and Hoggy, we're trying to figure this out by ourselves.
Unsupervised.
You know, damn, I can't. So anyway, everybody, we trying to let you know. I'm sorry, I'm over here hitting buttons.
I got it. I got it. Boom.
He is he's sick, so we want to he's out and about. So he's sick. We were doing a reintroduction because me and Hoggy had like a 3-minute conversation. Nobody knew about it. But so anyway, Pete is over there having his VA sex change, so that's why he's not here today. But we wish him well. We wish him, healing energy. But in honestly, that brother's he's been under the weather, so we wish him well. Me and Hoggy, before we got into a deeper subject, I was telling everybody that I am about almost 60 days sober, not drinking, trying to, just be responsible. But other than that, we're going to tackle the subject that Hoggy brought up a second ago. And what was it again, brother?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm trying to do Pete's job, and I suck at Pete's job. So, I mean, I will take the blame for that 6 minutes of nothing you guys watched. But anyways, I was saying to you, I grew up in a situation where I grew up evangelical, white, Christian, the right wing, all that. I was in that whole thing. And the thing back then was, I just remember like distinctly how it was all about small government. It was drilled in my head all the time. Small government. Yeah. That's why we couldn't, feed poor. We couldn't do almost all the teachings of Jesus, all that. We can't do it because we need small government. We don't want the government in our bedrooms. We don't want the government in our lives. We don't want the government deciding what we can do. Well, and now when you look around, I mean, the government's in your church now. The government's in your bedroom. The government's telling you what position you're allowed to fuck in. The government's deciding who you can love, who you can marry. Like, I don't understand where this comes from, and I really don't understand how it's coming from the party of small government, which I believe is an illusion that always was. But you give me your take on that, because it's aggravating me.
I know, but like I said, I truly believe that it was a ploy to, historically we've seen Republicans blow the budget more than the Democrats, right? The modern Democrats, and they placated people's fears using religion, everything else. So because right now it's like you said, government is huge. They expanded the budget on certain things, especially on tax cuts. They're giving out corporate welfare, but then they also cutting benefits for veterans, benefits for people who who use Medicaid. And people think Medicaid is a handout. It's not. It's just a subsidized help or healthcare, because healthcare costs is through the roof. And I work in the healthcare field, so I see behind the scenes logistically what the fuck you guys are paying. Like, you guys understand these tariffs are fucking you guys over in the insurance part. Like, because they buy every time he does something stupid with these damn tariffs, our healthcare companies have to buy saline, all kind of medical equipment, and they had to buy it immediately because the prices are shifting, and then they got to find different vendors. Because when he slaps a tariff on the EU or a tariff in China, you wouldn't believe how many of your IV tubes of different medical equipment comes from overseas, and that cost get passed down to you, the consumer, the patient, and through your insurance. So your insurance premiums go up. So it's crazy how this, like you said, the Republican Party, who is supposed to be limited government, is fucking, they're in everybody's pocket.
And you know what? Another thing is like, I don't think that people really truly understand sometimes what like Medicaid and Medicare do. Like, so if you're in a state and you have, say, like, I know because I have nieces and nephews up there. Like, if you're on, like, say you live in Oklahoma and you got Sooner Care, for instance, that is Medicaid. They just named it Sooner Care. Like, but the state does not pay for that. That is Medicaid. And so, like, they're cutting all this stuff. And so there's a lot of people that voted against themselves, not even realizing that, since you brought that up, that their states, pick a state, they all got the different whatever, but it's a federally subsidized. It's Medicaid, so they just call it something different. And so I just think that a lot of people don't even realize sometimes that when you voted for this, well, first of all, I don't think a lot of people realized that they were voting for this, but
yeah, because
but
they were one issue. They were one issue voters, brother. They were one. They voted on one or two issues. A lot of people.
what was the issues though? What was the issues? They told us what they were doing.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of our fellow veterans and fellow Americans were voting on. They were thinking about at the moment prices are going up. They were thinking about their groceries. They were thinking about their pay because inflation was up, so their dollar wasn't going as far. So I understand that they were voting in their emotion and not reading the facts that, hey, he had a plan. They let you know this is their plan. And now inflation right now, the new report came out in July. Inflation's at a 3-year high.
Yeah.
So, and this is his economy. This is no longer the Biden economy. The Biden economy was the first quarter. This is his economy.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, and it's crashing. Like it's going absolutely. I mean, like go to the store. I don't care who you are. Like, okay, where's this $1.99 gas at? So, like somebody tell me where it's at. I live in Mississippi. It's usually around the cheapest around here. I mean, I can't even afford a razor. You see this shit?
They making you a redneck, brother. They making you a redneck now. Well, this craziness.
I'm sitting out here. I leave the house and I hear that we don't need to change anything because the gas is down to $1.99 or whatever. This is from the Commander in Chief of the United States of America, and it's like,
Trader in Chief. Trader in Chief.
$3.49 a gallon to put in my truck. So where is this at? I just need to know what gas stations it's at.
Well, shit. Then one of his punk ass sons just give a interview talking about because they're just going around and they're making money because they need to make money on Fox News or something. They was something on Fox Business. His son, even his kids say the truth in front of everybody. American people are not picking it up. They basically saying, "Look, we're fleecing you guys. We want to make our money so before we get out of there because they know they know they're losing the midterms. They know they're losing power." They're trying their best to keep it.
He's gonna die. He's way overweight and he's freaking old as fuck. So I mean, he's I don't what are you accumulating money for? You could literally live the exact way you are living right now. Well, probably not free if he wouldn't have been a president, but other than that, you could live exactly how you're living on probably $5 million because, buddy, you ain't got long.
Well, the Republican Party. It was always about the party of the rich. Both parties are, don't get me wrong, both parties got their faults. They really do.
Sure. For sure.
But I would say this, at least with the Dems, when they screw you on one thing, at least give you something else in return. Right now, this GOP, this modern GOP or MAGA, they're screwing you and then they're giving you sound bites saying, well, you're going to be okay. No, the fuck you're not. You're not. He's not. You're not okay. How are you keep that cloud of fantasy thinking that you're going to make money or eventually? No, they don't care about you. They never did. It's a class warfare. They never cared about you guys. They never cared about the veterans. Support the troops. The GOP always said support the troops. He made a big issue about the flag. Remember when Colin knelt for the flag? He made it all of a sudden. There's no fucking issue about the flag. He's rolling tanks down fucking DC. So what is it? What the fuck is it?
And then I lost my train of thought. I was damn, I wrote something down. You're on like the fourth conversation from that.
Yeah, my bad. It all goes together, brother.
They also were everybody. They're the party of law enforcement, and they're the back the blue people. And then I mean, I know it's beating a dead horse, but January 6th, they ain't back nobody. All they did was free these freaking assaulters of police. Like these people, had that been Black Lives Matter or Jews Lives Matter or pick a race that went and beat the hell out of cops with flagpoles and in whatever the fuck, there's no way. There's no way.
Well, you know what, brother, and I'm gonna say this, and this is what gets me with this, with that, exactly what you said. Let's talk about let's get on these people, the January 6th rioters and stuff, right? The hypocrisy of people when it comes when it comes to politics, because it's like you said, if it was a bunch of minorities doing that, for example, I grew up during the era of the Million Man March, when the Million Man when Farrakhan had the Million Man March, one of the most peaceful marches you ever had. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they would have rioted, if the people of my skin tone, of my ethnicity would have rioted, white America would have had a fit. But certain white American outlets allow, because they look white, they're Caucasian, they stormed the Capitol, put a Confederate flag in the middle. Really, honestly, if they had a chance, they would have, you know what I'm saying, murdered some senators and Congress people, and all of a sudden, you guys, some people. Now, I'm not saying you, but these voters think it's okay. But then, it's like it's like under the rug. Oh well, they were supporting their own right to free speech. Free speech. No, they want.
You ain't allowed to go out there and just beat the shit out of people.
No, it's an insurrection. Call it what it is. It was an insurrection led by him, and now he's back to being president. And now he knows that he lost a lot of followers. So now he's trying to make his own private freaking police force by using ICE.
Okay, that one really pisses me off. But I know we've talked about it already. But I mean, just the mass and the way they're doing things. And I get it. If there are violent criminals in this country, they need to go. That are here illegally, they need to go. But when you show up when you put a quota on a cop or a cop, the freaking ICE agents, who knows who the fuck they are, because nobody knows. They don't need badges. They don't need to show their face. They don't need to tell you their name. Don't need to show a warrant. They just get to. You could be an American citizen, and if you are just a little bit too brown for them, they can take you to jail. You're going to be there for 3 days. Fuck you. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they're doing right now. Every day. And it's aggravating. So, I mean, like,
Well, you know what? When it comes to when it comes to those Gestapo tactics that they're using, you know what? To be honest with you, I'm happy. I hate to say this, but it's time for them, because they know they're breaking the law, to get their ass whooped, to get treated, because they're enemies of the state. Plain and simple, they're enemies of the Constitution. I don't understand how we as veterans, who took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. That's the first, that when you sign that contract, when you join, it's the Constitution. It's bigger than the president. It's bigger than politics. It's either right or wrong. The Constitution is basically in black and white. Well, black and papyrus paper, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the law is the law. And what they're doing is violating people's civil rights. And the fact that some news outlets, and it's kind of funny, the right-wing news outlets are making it sound like, well, they're doing the best. And you got that little bird head girl that's fucking doing the press conferences, you know what I'm saying, tweeting out that bullshit every day. The president is strong on crime and blah, blah, blah. No. God, please let us really look. I want some left-wing nut extremists to take over the White House. I want to see these people charged. I think we should make some of them, how you say it, make them examples. I think some of these people, especially the extreme ones who've been violating the Constitution, you know what? Trump talks about, law and order. I think some of these people should be charged with treason, and we should have a national hanging with them and show them this is what happens when you go against the Constitution of the United States. Because at the end of the day we are not this country. I live in New England. This country fucking had a revolution over taxes, and the taxes back then are not as high as now.
They have it over tariffs on tea.
Tariffs. Yeah, and now we're allowing it. Come on, man. We got to get our shit together in this country. This is outrageous.
Pete, type in this thing right here and tell me how to make this to where everybody can see it. And I suck at your job, Pete. And gas is down 1,600%. Okay. Well, nice. Gotcha. You done lost me, made me lose my train of thought.
No, we were
But
talking about tariffs and how this
oh
country is
yeah,
being
the revolution. Yeah, okay.
the revolution against the revolution against ICE and their illegal
I
Gestapo
mean,
tactics.
that's what we did. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand this whole. And then, okay, just on that subject, like, I don't like the numbers, so I'm gonna get rid of the person that gives me the numbers, and then put somebody in there that is from Project 20. What is it? The Heritage. What is it? The Heritage Group or something like that.
Oh my!
And
You know
and
what?
it's like, really, really,
He, I,
really.
he, they use a bar graph talking about the numbers are right here. No, people, look, the New England area, population wise, jobs are gonna be okay. But you know who got hit the hardest, and you know this because you're in Mississippi. Is the rural areas, the farmers. They got hit They got hit the hardest, quicker, faster.
Who?
The agricultural economy got hit the fastest than anything else.
But it's not just the tariffs; they're getting rid of all their goddamn employees.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, right now,
you're not gonna find no white or black people that are gonna go out and sweat their balls off like that for $10 an hour. You're just not gonna do it.
well, no, I mean, right now, Huggy, how much you pay for? How do you know the price of ground beef in your area right now?
I
Beef.
mean, not off the top of my head, probably a couple. No, not off the top of my head.
So up here,
I have kids. I buy it in bulk, so I don't know.
up here in the New England area, the price of ground beef, if you can catch it on sale, is $6.99 to $8.99 a pound. It used to be, yeah, it used to be
that. I know it's not that, but
yeah, it's high.
I know that, but I mean, I might be wrong. Greta might tell me something different.
But as I said, like it's like it's going back to what you're saying, like it's hitting the consumer, right? It's hitting the everyday man. He has not made this economy better. He made fun of everybody because he said my winning thing was groceries. It was the easiest thing to get across. Groceries. And now groceries rose over 15%.
Max, can we just be honest and just tell it what it is? He never wanted to bring any prices down. He didn't give a shit. He wanted to stay out of jail, cut taxes, and make money. And that's what he's doing. He's doing all those things. Oh, and he wanted to be a racist fucking cocksucker. And he's doing all those things that he wanted to do. He ain't doing anything that he told the people that he would do. I mean, even where's the Epstein files? I mean, it's not,
No. You know what? I'm gonna push back. He did keep one promise.
What?
The racism, because he's getting rid of brown people.
But even racist people are going like, "Whoa, dude, this is a little bit much." We're like busting up in churches where Jesus is at. I mean, that's not right. That's where we say,
you know what always cracks me up is how racist people go to like Mexican restaurants.
I mean, but even John Wayne's sanctuary in the church. Just put up in their law, man.
No.
I mean, but I don't think they really understood what was going to happen.
I think
they should have because he told them.
Well, no, and it goes back to what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, and I know we've been rehashing it. They didn't believe it was going to affect them personally. They thought it was going to affect the people of color, the white people who lean Democratic, who are sympathetic to certain causes in the minority community. They didn't expect that their community will be affected the most and the fastest. They gotta, because once he cut USA,
you just straight up fucking called that shit exactly. That is exactly what happened. Everybody thought it was going to happen to them. Nobody thought it was going to happen to you. But if you really look into it, half the people that you see bitching about somebody, buying a Coke with the food stamps or whatever, is also on food stamps. They just don't admit it, and they're not going to freaking. It's like I can't believe that he bought a Coke and with an EBT card and he's got an iPhone. But you just fucking posted that with an iPhone, and I know for a fact you're on the same shit, you dumb motherfucker. Like, because we're
Yeah.
friends. I know. You were just bragging last week.
Hey, you know,
Just because you go to Walmart right before they
unfortunately,
close and nobody can watch you pull out that yellow card, fuck you, dude.
well, because and my own people, black media has the part to play because we showcase the worst of us in movies and stuff. So, in American ideology, they first thing they think about somebody on EBT is some crackhead black woman with multiple kids. You know, they don't show the girl from the trailer. You know, in rural America. You know.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Stanford, this is like God's honest truth. I promise you that if I qualified for that bullshit, or it's not bullshit, people need it. If I qualified for that, my wife would pull up in her freaking Lexus with her iPhone out and swipe the fuck out of that in front of everybody and not give a fuck, dude. She'd be like, yeah, that was all free. Fuck you. And leave. With no shame whatsoever. She did. Yeah, keep running your mouth, bitch.
No, we don't want to put Greta up in here.
We can't afford Alexis if we got to pay for food.
No, Greta got hands, fam. We don't want to put Greta up in there.
No, she'll fight him too. With the EBT card, she probably like cut him with the EBT card.
Yeah, this spoof, man. I remember.
If she could figure out a way to do it, she would do it 100%.
Look, when I got out of federal prison, shit, I didn't even qualify. I didn't even qualify for food stamps. I had to get a job.
You're a fucking felon, dickhead.
No, you can. You as a felon, you can.
For president.
Yeah, but hey, fuck it. It's just the craziest thing. But it's America. I'm not even. You know what? This country has its faults, but we strive to be better. But right now, we're seeing that little cesspool that we all knew was there when people was calling black folks crazy, or calling white people who could see through the veil that they're oh no, it's not like this, man. And now look at them now. It's all
He'll never do that. He ain't gonna do that. You know how sick I am of hearing that bullshit. Oh, he ain't. Well, that's just how he talks. No, it ain't. That's what he fucking does, dude. He don't talk about shit. Now, I will hand him that. He don't talk about shit. I mean, he'll talk it, but he also goes back and does it. So when he says that he's going after your fucking black ass, that's exactly what the fuck he's gonna do.
Oh yeah. Look at what he's doing in DC.
You're gonna try and hide it in some of they're all criminal. I'm sorry, but this country, and this is just truth. This country does not have 3,000 violent Mexican criminals per day. We just don't.
Per day.
Don't. And that's so now but they still have to. They have to, but that's their daily quota. And so, what are you gonna do if you can't round up freaking all? You've already got all the violent ones, right? Because there's probably only 3,000 altogether. You want 3,000 a day, motherfucker? Like now, that's why we're in grade schools and fucking kindergartens and taking parents in front of their children who are U.S. citizens, and it's disgusting and it's sad to watch. I want to just like I want to go hug them kids and bring them to my house. It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Well, and it comes to I think the thing we always knew is that the U.S. government knew who were illegally here working off of false documentations, right? Because when you submit your I-9 forms, they know the Social Security is not right. They know this name don't match. They were getting all that tax money, from these people who work in these factories, who work in these meat processing plants and these vegetable plants in the middle of rural America. They knew who these people were. That's why they were easy targets. They knew where they were at. So they couldn't, like you said, they couldn't get the criminals because it's not, like you said, there's not 3,000 a day minority illegal nationals doing crime all day. There's not.
I just realized how to get the chat thing. I thought that I was trying to get it to where everybody could see all the chat, and I wasn't even seeing it. I'm just now seeing all this stuff because Pete just said, oh, let's watch that one. Pete just said, get rid of that. Well, yeah, of course, Pete. Yeah, that it's gonna get your visions go. It's gonna get everything go up. But yeah, I mean, it's just that. But take the prices out of it. The inhumanity of it is just is sickening. To be honest with you, I don't like it. Um, it's just I feel horrible for these children that are watching all this go down. I don't even want my kids to see it.
You know what? This is I understand what you're saying, but this is the things that we have to see live because we got to see. You got to see
No, we
people
need to
say,
see it. We need to see it. We need to see it, and it needs to be said, and it needs to be what it is. Because if we don't show it, then it's going to just. I would rather see it than have it be behind the scenes. Because if it's
well,
behind the scenes, then we get to all pretend comfortable, like, oh, that's not really that bad. But no, let's show it.
my issue with what's going on I posed this question a few times is how can people who voted about race-based politics, right? Like, how can you sit around all day hating a group of people? This like how can you let that consume your day? You got you how you just gonna go away be like, you know what? Them niggas over there ain't worth a shit. They need to be locked up. The Mexicans over there, we need to like how like when you especially when you live in a place where you don't have no minorities around. I don't understand that part of America. It's like you work, you live in a red state, you live in a Republican state, you got a Republican township, you got a Republican governor, your population is 99.9 or 98% Caucasian, white America. How
No,
the
no,
fuck are
not, no,
people?
we're not. In fact, I would venture to say that we're probably like closer to the minority. I mean, we're the majority in the rule, but
Yeah,
uh,
it's a rural. It's the more the rural areas that vote against their interests more than anybody else. Because even the ones, even at least with the bigots that live in the urban cities, they might hate it, but then they also know, hey, they like the money. You know,
yeah.
so you
I
know,
mean, honestly, I don't have a that I know how I did it because I could have. Honestly, I probably could have went either way. But my dad was, and we don't always see eye to eye. But what I did always see eye to eye on him was like that no human being was created any different than anybody else. And that's something that he always taught to me. Did I come close? A few, I grew up on construction sites. This is the kind of
yeah,
thing that you're gonna hear. There's not a racist joke I ain't heard or don't know by heart because it's just how I grew up. But my dad, the biggest influence on a child's life, was so adamantly against just treating. Now he agreed with if they're a dick, they're a dick. But I mean, just
yeah.
because you are a different color or whatever, he would always give somebody a chance. Like he would always give somebody a chance. Now, if you're a shitty worker, you're gonna get fired. It has nothing to do with you being black. You just suck. But
Oh yeah.
but I think is what kept me within the realm of which is crazy because that's why ever since I've never voted right wing ever. And if you really get down to it, back in the day, back when I became a voting adult,
Yeah,
I would have been considered like people from Chicago would have probably called me like a Southern Democrat. Like
yeah, Dixiecrat, yeah.
I like middle left, like I agree with a lot of these conservative values. Well, what used to be conservative values and the different things, but I always socially was like, well, I don't think that we should get involved in, say, a woman's right to choose or gay
Mm,
rights, like all that. My religion shouldn't be your religion,
yeah.
and when I started seeing just the molestation of a religion to contort it into what my personal prejudices are, um,
So you were more
that
like a constitution. You were more like a constitutionalist. Like you as long as this constitutional
I am
meaning
a
separation of church and power, separation of
yes,
church and state.
oh, for sure. And then not only that, but I am a lot like Pete is a lot of times too. and I am a black and white, what does the law say type of person. Now,
Yeah.
I don't always agree with the law, but this is what it is. And so, like, all this shit where they're like, for instance, that's why I read all that shit about the ICE agent. They have zero right to hold a fucking American citizen. Zero. They have zero right to put them in handcuffs. According to the law, black and white, it's written. But yet now it's like, well, but we're doing God's work, so it's all good. No, it's not fucking good. And if that's what God fucking stands for, fuck him too. You know, I mean, I don't understand that. I do not understand that to save my soul.
Well, yeah. I believe I'm with you because I believe religious rhetoric, or it plays a big influence on how these people operate when it comes to how they misinterpret the Constitution. Because if they really, and this is another thing, how we go back to a while ago about education, the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, majority of them were anti-Christian establishment because they left the Church of England. People don't realize that King James Bible that they read.
That's why they fucking put it in there.
Yeah, that King James Bible version that we read, a lot of these American Christians read, they don't realize, they don't know the history of it. Yeah, they don't even know the history of it. So, you know, the like you said, these MAGA right-wing evangelical people who are quoting Christian hymns and trying to justify it, the whole reason why this country came about was, first thing was in the Constitution, separation of church and state, freedom of the press. Those are the two biggest issues that people would fight and kill each other for: religion and being able to say what they want to say freely. I can't read that because somebody, Sarah Hart, just said something.
Oh, sorry, you can't even read that because you're on your phone. Yeah, I just don't like, even like, okay, so even, I mean, and I'm just like, I can talk religion all day long. So,
Yeah.
And I know you have your religion and I respect your beliefs, but at the same time, like, I'm the type of person that looks into it. I have, because when you told me what your religion is, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not a professional on it. There it goes. How did you do that? Anyways, but it's like your religion was based off of what the slave owners insisted that you be Catholic, and then they so the people that came from Haiti incorporated some like voodoo into it to be able to please their master and yet still be able to can keep parts of their religion. Am I wrong, or am I way off, or what? Am I way off?
Say that again, brother.
I said, am I way off?
What you mean?
I was saying your religion. Your religion was Catholic back in the day, and then it was introduced by the slaves from, what was it?
No. It was
and they were trying
for my faith to stay alive in Santeria, Cuban Lukumi, which is part of Yoruba. They had to integrate. They used the Catholic saints as a mask because they seen the similarities between our deities and the Catholic saints. So it was easy for them to still worship, have their traditional worship without being persecuted. So
but it was trying to incorporate your religion, or not yours, but their religion into what the white man would accept, and that way they could be kind of a little bit of both, from what I read. Anyway.
Yeah. So they could practice in peace without being persecuted. Yep.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not far off base. Anyways, so went way further than I needed to. But I was just saying, like, how we use religion to just basically trap people's minds, because it trapped those people's minds to the point where, like, no, you have to be Catholic enough. So then, like, they got rid of their own religion that they had, and then bring in another one. And I have a really hard time with religion. I don't like it.
No, I get it. But Pete and Sarah wanted us to talk about one of the big issues that we got going on right now is how Mr. Trump is trying to federalize the U.S. ICE and everything else, so he can use the D.C. as the mechanism to try to get into other places like Chicago, New York, Boston, L.A., which was a shit show for him. He
Oh,
lost that.
yeah,
So
he had texted that to us earlier. Yeah, and I totally agree. Yeah, this is a test run. That's exactly what this is.
oh yeah. Like
For the
federalization.
American people, it's like, okay, I technically can do this in DC because technically he is kind of the governor, but it also kind of like begs to wonder, like, okay, well, on Jan 6th, you said that it had to be Speaker of the House that took control of the National Guard. So again, fuck you, fat man. But so you couldn't do it then, but now that you want to just randomly get rid of brown people who were because a guy named Big Balls got jumped by some 15-year-olds. Fuck you, dude. They're all in jail anyways. Like, the police did their job in that situation. Yeah, the dude got fucked up. That sucks. I'm not saying that I'm not celebrating those people, but they're in fucking jail. What else do you want?
You
The fuck do you want?
that
So
you
now,
know
go.
this federalization shit that he's doing, right? Invoking an act that was, I think, brought in place in the 70s, because he can't use the Insurrection Act because there's no insurrection, right? He has no just cause, so he's using like I think that act is only good for like 30 days tops, depending on certain things he can do, because it's very constricted by the law. But
Yeah.
him threatening, Chicago, New York, talking about, especially, he wants to go around New York because he thinks he's the man in New York. He really wants to bring it. He really believes that the American people, are going to sit back and let some asshole fucking Gestapo troops come in, put their boots on your throat, because you can only do so much to American people before they revolt.
Stanford, and I totally agree with you, but I want you to understand something. He is not threatening. He doesn't threaten. He will be doing this in Chicago. He did it in California. He will be doing it in New York. He will be doing it wherever the fuck he wants to do it. So he's trying to get to a point where he can call some kind of national emergency, and he knows he's fucked in 26. So he's trying to do everything he can to distract from what his fucking agenda is, which is a personal agenda. That's what these Republicans are trying to figure out. And some of them are starting to like get a clue a little bit. Like, oh, wait, no, you've got a child rapist at worst.
Yeah.
Or you have a protector of a child rapist at best, leading this country. And that's sick. And and he's already a felon. And now there's a lot of Republicans out there right now that okay, well, whoa. I draw the line at fucking kids. As they should. But in their heads, they thought it was all Hillary Clinton and Democrats. Turns out, guess what? It's not. It's fucking Trump. Because guess who is about to be going free? A child rapist. Guess why she's going to be going free? To protect his fucking fat ass. Dumbass. These dumbass motherfuckers sometimes. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah. Because Pete just had a point. Pete just said that Pete said he's testing the waters to see what about the midterms, because he knows the midterms he's losing. I mean, and it goes to, and I know you guys probably pay attention to some of the the clips on TikTok or on YouTube, the shorts. These town halls in these Republican areas, Republican strongholds are getting their ass handed to them. They're getting these Republican. This is their voters, and the problem is these guys who have this little bit of power from the people, they think they can hold on to it, and they're not. They're not going to hold on to it.
Give me your opinion on this, and Pete, if you want to do all this typing, you can too. But I hope that you're right, and I hope that it is that these these communities, those were right-wing people, but I really do think that some of this is just the Democrats organizing really well against these speakers. I don't have any inside information. I haven't, but I always have that suspicion in my head. Like there, it's like a lot of Democrats, and they're like, "Oh, let's
No,
show up
no, no,
before
no, no,
they."
because
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
no,
just
no,
saying.
because if you were
But
saying
the polling shows.
no, if you were saying like like a purple area, gentrified area, like the suburbs, I can see your point. But these are heavily Republican. They're
Yeah,
because some of these senators and representatives are going to places where they thought they were safe. They're not even close to making.
I totally hope that that's what it is, dude. And I want to believe that. I'm just saying, like, I'm a what do you call that? I
Not an
my
optimist, a
brain.
protagonist.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. There, you can use that one. That's fine. But let's say that again. But anyways, but yes, I that's kind of me and Pete. That's what I was trying to say earlier. He just said it because he's got a cough, and so he's able to type it, and it sounds smarter. But basically testing the water to see what is going. He had Chat GPT do it.
No,
I,
you know,
I believe.
and Pete's comment about MAGAs having buyer's remorse. A lot of them are. A lot of them are because a
I
lot.
think at least 30% of them are.
Well, yeah, because they were one issue. They were really just 1-2 issue voters. They weren't a lot. A lot of his base were only basing their vote off of how they felt about the economy at the moment. They weren't thinking the big thing. It's like what you said, Hoggy. They weren't thinking about Project 2025, even though other people on the other side or even in the middle of the ground were. They were just thinking about, hey, my job is my dollar. I'm getting paid X amount of money. A couple years ago, I was able to buy 3 loaves of bread. Now I can only buy 1. That was where their mindset was at.
Yep.
But
you want to really, if Pete was on here right now, you could see his head explode and go on a rant because I'm going to bring up somebody else who's got buyer's remorse. Is these fucking idiots that went out there, these people that voted against Harris because of Palestine. Because that place will be a resort here soon.
Well, you know what? This is my opinion, and this is I'm gonna say it like this. Two things. Some of them, or more 3 things in my opinion. Some of them who didn't vote for her.
You want 4?
But based on sex, because they're very male, you know what I'm saying? They're very male oriented in their culture. Second was race, because they can't have a black. First of all, because a lot of them don't like to do intermarriage, especially with black people.
Racist and the same one. Sexist, racist. Okay,
sexism, racism, and I think the third one, third one was blind loyalty to some. They were believing a lie without really researching. Meaning that even though Trump is pro-Israel, yeah, but because they were thinking, well, he spoke like this before, but he didn't do anything. This go around, he was like, "Fuck you." The people he put in power should have told them that. Like he already has Stephen Miller, all these other people who were promoting Israel to the 10th degree should have told them, hey, he doesn't care.
And what was that? What did you just say right before that? What was it? The first term, he didn't do it, right?
Yep.
You're forgetting that in the first term, he had actual adults. He was actually having to listen to people because he was in his first term trying to win a second, and he hired actually qualified people. So he had like James Mattis and like actually qualified people to say, "Sir, this is illegal. We cannot." Bill Barr, as much as I don't like him, he was at least like, "I'm not doing that, dude. That is illegal. We cannot do that." And so that this time he's like, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm about to die, and if I don't stay here, I'm going to jail. So I might as well make as much money for my family as I can and fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what he's doing because he is. If you are qualified for a job, he's not going to pick you. I mean, this statistician guy that is going to be like, he wants to just like, oh, he just said like,
I mean,
oh well.
look who's the U.S. attorney now.
We're not going to give the numbers out anymore. So we just had so the Trump administration. So basically, our dear leader is the only one with the accurate numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
China. Okay, China.
Well, shit. I mean, China has a better economy for the middle class than we do. So, okay, North Korea.
Or North Korea. I mean, pick a dictatorship. I mean, but still.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, though. I mean, and then like we're gonna lose immigration coming in here, which I know that sounds great as a racist person, that we don't have any extra brown people coming in. But who is going to do those jobs?
The people in DC, the homeless that he's going to clear out and put them in internment camps. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, I give Trump the greatest credit because he said the most racist shit out loud on America. He was like, they work so hard. They got the backs built.
Yeah, because if their back breaks, they die. I mean, that's the racist shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Hey, I give it to him. He says what people be saying on the internet. He was like, well, they got the backs. They can.
I swear, like black people have an extra tendon in their freaking bones, and
he was talking about the Latinos.
Y'all are next, but
bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, maybe y'all were first.
Look. He wish he look. You got niggas in prison got cell phones. You think he can put us in the field? Shh. All right, let's see how that go. All right, you might have some. You got some. You know some. You got some turncoats. You know what I'm saying. But you know you got some coons. You know what I'm saying. You know we got some coons.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be the productivity that we get from people who actually want to do the job. You can make me do a job. I'm not going to want to do it. I'm not going to give you my 100%. If I want to do the job, you're going to get my best. But if you sit there and tell me I have to do the job, and I know that it's bullshit, but I just don't see it. So
I had a coworker talk about he was all for people like prisoners working in the fields, and I posed to him this question. I go, that's a slippery slope when you have prisoners do it, because it's economically it shows when you have the prison pipeline work. Usually states kind of promote companies to get those kind of people to work those jobs, and it kills your local economy. So they keep bringing in prisoners to work, and then your local jobs are gone. You're still in a shitty situation because what they do is corporate greed goes, and it was like, well, if I could pay a prisoner $2 a day to work a phone bank or pick some crops, why would I want to get the migrant? The only person who's making the money is going to be the corporation. Like a lot of people think no, I'm not saying that because first of all, let's be honest. Do you want a child rapist working in your fields?
No.
You want the psychopathic, Jeffrey Dahmer murderer working next to a cornfield next to your house, because you lived in the rural America. Some of these farm fields are next to like little
not only that slippery slope that you're talking about, but like you're also gonna have people that like when you start running. Okay, so criminals stop being so bad because it's like, oh fuck, I don't want to go pick corn or watermelon next year. I'm gonna not steal that bike. Then the government is gonna jump in and be like, okay, we are losing money because we have to actually pay people. So now they're gonna just like fucking arrest people for. I already know how this is gonna go. They're gonna just start arresting people for like make something stupid illegal, like they did with marijuana, or mostly black people drive with rims, so now we're gonna make having rims illegal, and if you have it, you definitely get arrested for 30 days, and then you got 30 days of free fucking labor. I already know where this is going. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. That's
yeah.
a horrible idea. That is not a way to compensate for the loss of people who actually want to show up and work 14 hours a day because they're providing for their family with a better wage than they were where they were. And a lot of these people, and this is what is really aggravating to me, is a lot of these people are legally trying to do what they need to do for asylum. The reason that they are approved or working to have asylum is because their children are going to get raped if they go back. They are going to get killed if they go back. And this administration does not give a fuck, dude. Not one single mammy motherfuck about these people. They're like, fuck you. You're going anyways, and fuck your kid. And guess what? Because Trump actually fucks kids. I mean, so what are you gonna do? I mean, we have the robber holding the keys to the jail. It's like I don't understand. Like, we got the murderer holding the keys to the jail, or the child rapist holding the keys to the jail. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys go back to your fucking masters where you can get raped. Fuck you. It's sickening. It is absolutely fucking sickening to me. And I cannot understand I cannot wrap my brain around how, even if he is saving some people a couple bucks in taxes or whatnot, I don't care how much you are saving me. If you are raping or protecting child rapists or sex traffickers of minors, I don't want that money. That is blood money. I don't want it. I would rather have to make it up somewhere else.
You got to remember, though, a lot of people, when it comes to money, they don't think like that. That's why crime exists. Is just people don't have that you have a moral compass. Not everybody has. Everybody has a different version of morality on how they interpret things. You know what I'm saying? So it goes to what you're saying, right? The Epstein files. You've been screaming it from the rooftop. And he still doesn't want to release it because he knows. First he says, "Well, it's Democrats in there." If it was more Democrats in that file, let's say it was 90%, they would have released it like that. But he's in there. He's in there. A bunch of other people. He's deflecting.
A bunch of rich millionaires or billionaires.
Yeah, I mean.
I think when he miscalculated, Stanford, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he miscalculated the fact that this is going to be something that because he can lie about everything. Like, I can walk outside as a liberal and say the sky is blue, and he'll get out there and call me Crazy Chris, and then tell that, like, it's obviously red, and all his followers are going to be like, you're right, it's red, sir. That was good. I don't understand, man.
Yeah, it's man, brother. This is we're in the age where it's hard to explain. We're in the age where the truth is out there, in our own systems of checks and balances are not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not utilizing the power that we're given. The system of checks and balances, like. Our Congress people are not doing it. Our Supreme Court is not doing it. Our media, our major media outlets are not doing it. That's why a lot of people are getting their media on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and stuff, because the so-called mainstream and the checks and balances are not doing their part. Like, our Congress people are not doing their part, because I'll tell you straight up, if I was in Congress, I'd be one like those old fucking Congress people, like, you know what? Fuck this president. This is war. My state said, fuck you. We're not paying any more taxes. This is war. Because he's got the Supreme Court. Fuck them too. This is war. We're seceding because if we're not going to follow the Constitution, why are we paying taxes?
But nobody's going to secede, first of all. But second of all,
we should.
way that you do it is how Newsom is doing it. He's trolling him back. He's totally fucking him over by and he did it with the people's permission. He's gonna end up gerrymandering that state. Like, oh, you want to do this dumb shit? We're gonna do it too. And guess what? It doesn't matter because between California, New York, and Massachusetts, and there was somewhere else, but Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
They can overcome whatever the fuck you throw at them. If that's how you want to play the game, it's like okay, you want to play the game like that, then that's okay. We can play that game, and they're doing it. They're doing it. I mean,
I always had it. My question is right. Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, God took your legs, and you still got all that hate. How much is he gonna have to take from you before your ass realize that you fucked up? You chose the wrong side. God took this man's legs, bro, and he's still.
I mean, it was probably karma for something.
Because
he's an evil fucking person.
I mean, for you to be that evil, God, like you can't, you got to shit in the bag.
How the fuck you're a religious person? You explain to me how the fuck God gave Trump only bone spurs, and then fucking Abbott ends up like Trump's eviler than Abbott. Abbott's got to roll around in a fucking wheelchair. Trump only got bone spurs and didn't have to go to Vietnam like a pussy ass bitch.
Yeah, I know the show's almost over, but you know, did you also read about Trump's freaking? He's hosting the Kennedy Award.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, man! And then they asked me if I could host it, and I was like, I'm the president of the United States. No, but sir, we'll get better ratings, sir. I said, you walked in there and said, I'm hosting. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers. Like, dude, his vocal delivery is like so off. Like, I'm trying to like wrap my head around how. You know, he even from the last time, he sounds so senile. Like it makes even worse sense than it did back then. And I don't know how. I think he got that. What do you call that? When a president leaves office and say they're like George W. Bush, for instance, when he left office, his approval rating was like what in the high 30s, low 40s at the time because of Iraq and all this other stuff. Yeah. But now, if you were to poll him as a former president, he's going to have way higher numbers because everybody's going to think 9/11 and blah blah blah.
But he also wrote a book and he admitted it. He admitted it in his book that he made multiple mistakes.
Well, but that's the difference too, is that George Bush also is a human being and recognized the fact that he is subject to making mistakes, as we all are. This president is not that person. He cannot admit a mistake, but I think that how he got back in was number one, these idiots ran a black woman against the most racist white old man on the fucking planet. And then on top of that, they forgot how horrible he was. Kind of like they did with Bush and anybody else. Because
no. Well, I think and black media talks about this with Kamala, and I think this is one of the things that she should have. Kamala.
So who talks about it?
Black media brings this up with Kamala, and I do agree with this, and even white media, some white media outlets do too. I think Midas touched it. I think one of the nail in her coffin was if she, instead of her saying she would have continued the Biden economy. Because she was playing, you know, because she was so grateful to him. She should have said, no, I'm going to go more left, hardcore. I think Joe she could have been like, look, I respect Joe, but I think he could have did more. So we're going extremely this way with the economy. I think if she would have, instead of playing the safe, saying she was going to keep his economic policy in place and pushed it more to like, I'm going to help you guys even more. And we're going to take it even further to help you guys out of this, out of the pandemic. I think she would have at least swayed a little bit more voters. Her downfall was on that View interview, which Fox News and all of them played a million times about her saying, well, I think Joe was doing good on the economy. I think that was one of her nails in the economy for the middle the voter.
Can I go? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. We were supposed to say, brother.
I disagree a little bit with you because where I think that the mistake was made is that the primary had already happened.
Yeah.
Joe Biden won, and millions of people voted for him. And those millions of people were really pissed off that Nancy Pelosi and like these other politicians were pushing him out. Like the establishment people were pushing him out. And then the only thing he had power to do is say, fine, you want me to leave without ruining this whole thing for you? Is I'm picking my predecessor. And he picked his vice president, which makes sense because he trusted her in the case that he died. So if basically they killed him politically by not coming out and either it was once that primary was over, it was this poor woman had 100 days to get ready for a presidential election. I don't care who you are, that's not enough time. Trump had been running for 4 fucking years. They didn't even really primary him. That's bullshit. So, I mean, he basically he didn't even show up to the debates, dude. Like, she had to do all this stuff in 100 days. 100 days. That was like not fair to her. What they did to Biden wasn't fair to him. If he'd have lost, fuck it, he lost.
Yeah, but you know, his debate, and I think you're right. I think he could have pulled it out, but I think his debate with Trump, that first debate when he was that was a nail in the coffin for him. But Biden knew and let's be honest, Biden. I agree with you. I think the Dems should have had a proper primary with Kamala running against everybody else to put the best person on there. Biden should have, once that debate was over, that first debate, because he got slaughtered, bro.
But okay, first of all, he was Obama's vice president, number one, and I want you to go back and watch Obama's first fucking debate with goddamn Mitt Romney because it was fucking awful.
No. You can't compare that because I'm talking about Biden. He was the president at the moment, and he had way more experience, over 30 plus years experience debating before Obama, because Obama was a freshman senator.
But like nobody gave him the benefit of the doubt.
He destroyed himself in that debate, brother. Come on, he was not. No, he had more than enough time to be ready. He had more than that debate killed him. That debate, it was what his.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not. It did kill him. But I'm saying that first of all, while we're talking, by the way, while we're fucking talking shit, how about the fact that Donald Trump gets up there and kills himself every time he opens his fucking mouth because nothing true comes out of it. So, I mean, like, these people just like, they're willing to be like, oh, well,
but no, because Donald Trump's language is more catchy. It's more. He speaks in sound bites, bro. He speaks. If you notice, his sound bites get picked up quicker than anything else. Because it's like you said. If you read his whole speech, if you read Trump's whole speech, is full of shit. But he knows the media machine. They pick up sound bites that he puts in there and play them over and over again. He's a media magnet. He knows how to play the game.
Well, obviously, because he's the fucking president of the goddamn United States.
Yeah. But I'm saying, even though to you and I and other people, he sounds like a child. But the media that the people who support the media, who support him, and they play those sound bites as if it's gold. They know how to chop it up, make it sound even better. You know, he does his little movements of, you know, acting like he's fighting the man, and he plays that media game very well. That man's he's gonna go down for two things: one of the worst presidents in history, but a fucking marketing machine when it comes to media, to modern media. He's the best in marketing media. He is.
I'm gonna give you this is your soundbite. And this is a direct quote from the mighty dear leader, president of the United States that we have. I know a lot of I know a lot of stupid people that, frankly, are tough. Those most dangerous, actually, in sentence. I know words. I have the best words, but they
Hoggy,
are
put the
no
charisma in it. Put some charisma in it. You know, Trump got how weird he is. He got charisma. Put the charisma in it, brother.
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what my charisma is. Like, I can make that entertaining, but like, it still makes no fucking sense at the end of it. Like, how does that fucking make sense, dude? I know words. I know words. I have the best words, but there are no better words than stupid. No shit, because that's what you were calling
There
your
you
whole
go.
life. Fuck. Your daddy called you stupid till he died. So did the fucking best friend, lawyer, fuck, whatever, Combs, whatever the fucking name was.
Look, we got an hour and 5 minutes. Let's wrap this up because before we go into a tangent and people be like, turn this shit off.
I'll keep looking. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully Pete will be back next week, and hopefully Stanford will make it back next week, and we can have the three of us for the first time in a long time. Anyways, thanks for watching. We love y'all. Please support us, like our videos, and
Like,
share,
subscribe, share. We are also we're trying to get more interactive. They're adding you guys' comments into the fold. So we're sorry about us popping them up late. So we're trying to make it more of a lively 1-on-1 or 4-on-1 interaction.
I didn't know what I was doing too. That I just want to throw that out there. No,
it's not, no, brother. No, that's what we did. We just want to let the people know that we're trying to make sure that we get more interactive. So we won't just keep repeating the same things. So, like Sarah Hart says, you guys keep repeating the same shit.
Okay. Well, anyways, remember, if you're not pissed off, you probably repeated a bunch of shit. Anyways, if you're not pissed off, you're not listening.
You guys have a good night. Oh, man, I gotta.